So yeah, welcome everyone. This is GauntletCon, the open community weekend in mid-October. This is my first game of the weekend, first of a handful. Tonight we are playing Love by the Quarter Mile by Mark Meredith, which is a game that was in the Racial Justice and Equality bundle, which you may already have. I think it is inspired by the Fast and the Furious or Gone in 60 Seconds or any of those types of movies. I'm not even sure that the numbers have been filed off this game because the stats for our characters are fast and furious and family. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. My name is Donna. I am running the game. My pronouns are he, him, and let's do player and character introductions for tonight's game. Let's go left to right in character keeper order.
Hello, I am Kalum from the Race Podcast, pronouns he, him. Tonight I will be playing Jackie Julien, who claims he's the heir to the very famous family of stuntmen, Julien, Rémi Julien, all the old James Bond, all the classic movies with stunts. You would have seen a Rémi Julien stunt. But it seems a bit dubious that this character might be the heir to that family. So maybe we'll find out more about that.
Hi, my name is Leandro, use he and pronouns, and I'm playing Harley, who uses she her pronouns. That's the only name she'll answer to. She's someone who kind of like bounced from foster family to foster family. Doesn't really talk much, not the most articulate person, prefers to be behind a wheel than be standing and talking to other people. I guess that's why her family stat is incredibly low, but her fast stat is really high. So yeah, she doesn't matter what this crew wants to do. If at some point she gets to go fast, she's down for it. Also, she likes banana milkshakes. That probably won't have any bearing on anything. Who knows? But straight and simple, that's Harley.
Okay, thanks, Leandro.
Hi, I'm Mander, he, him. I'm Polly Prescott, and I'm here to show the world that I am now as cool as I knew myself to be, and I can prove it because I hang out with these awesome people, and I have a wonderfully fast car that I have tricked out, and I'm going to do something that's flamboyant and good for the world, which is clear proof that I am cool now.
I like that. I just amended because it was too beautiful. So we've got someone who's furious, someone who's fast, and someone who's family, and it's rubbish at the rest.
Of course, yeah. This is party balance. Everyone has min-maxed in their particular section of the game. Okay, cool. So I think we have. We open up on this narrow mountaintop road with the kind of glittering blue Mediterranean just down off a cliff. We are seeing the three cars of our main characters hurtle down the road in a not very safety conscious manner, and I think. There's some kind of race against time going on, right? Jackie, why don't you describe how we see your character enter the shot, and why don't you tell us exactly why you are racing against time along this road?
Okay, so Jackie is convinced to take the high road, although it could be a bit questionable because we are in Monte Carlo and high roads can be dangerous, especially if you're a royalty or related to Hollywood. But Jackie decided to go the other way around than Grace Kelly did. is meaning that he's gonna try to seduce a Monaco princess by winning this race. Then he will be famous, and then he will go to Hollywood, rather than Grace Kelly, who did the opposite, was a Hollywood star, fell in love with Prince, what's his name, and then ended up in Monaco, figuratively and literally. Sorry for sensible people out there.
Okay, and how about Harley? You know, I think it seems to me like everyone except you has a good reason to be here. You know, why does the audience see, or what do we know of Harley that means that she is exactly where she needs to be?
Well, there are things here. There are people who think they're fast, but I know they're not. So I'm just gonna show them that they're not here, that they're not fast. They don't know what fast looks like. Fast to them is a concept that's beyond them. Okay, this isn't hardly talking. This is me talking. She doesn't articulate things like that. She just knows,
Lady,
like,
I'm fast. Anywhere on the road or in the bed, I'm the fastest you will ever find.
sure, you're fast in bed. Okay, sure, Jackie. But yeah, as simple as that. She's here because people think they're fast, and she intends to prove them wrong.
Okay, and at the back of the racing crew, Polly, why don't you introduce us to how we see your character here, and then maybe tell us who is, you know, speeding up the road to try to stop you from getting where you need to be.
Yes. You see Polly in his all-electric Porsche, that vehicle that's been tricked out, and he glances in the rear view mirror and sees behind him some classic black SUVs with Polizei on the front of them and flashing lights. They're after us because of the information that we have stolen. That reveals the various family secrets of the royal family.
So yes, the papers that you've all stolen from, I don't know, maybe Switzerland. Maybe Switzerland are after you. You know, they have, I'm sure, plenty of banking secrets they would not like to get out of here. So yeah, I think, you know, we see they have obviously poured a lot of money into these SUVs, and they are pursuit SUVs, if that is not a complete non sequitur, an oxymoron. So yeah, they are, you know, tipping towards you at a good rate, and I think this is a good chance to see just how fast Polly Prescott is in his souped up Porsche. So,
Yeah.
I think this is not a race. I think this is more of a contest to stay ahead of them, because you're in the tail of this little convoy. So you should give your Porsche a tag, which will be, if you can use it in a conflict, will give you an extra die. So this can be any description of your car's ability or anything like that.
Sure.
So you're only giving a car one right now.
Right, and I imagine that Polly has kind of hacked his car to make it go beyond its specs for short periods of time.
Okay.
It's like
so like supercharged
electrical boost. Well, yeah, that he's bypassed some of the safety systems, both mechanically and also in the software, so he can push it way beyond what the manufacturer intended.
Yeah. So so you can describe how you're trying to stay ahead of this this Swiss police SUV. Like fast may seem to be the obvious stat, but if you're going to try to muscle him off, you could use furious. And if you're trying to think about how much emotional baggage you have in this conflict, you could make a case for family. If you are if family or your emotional investment in this conflict is what's really dominant, then you can make any excuse to roll that die. But fast seems like the most pertinent one for an actual road race like we are in right now. So what do you think?
I think that Polly has a posh, espresso machine in his vehicle, and he was going to, on one of the turns, try to time it so that he's going to, sip his espresso and then roll down the window, and when a turn comes, try to just dump the cup of espresso liquid and cup itself such that the vehicle behind will collide with it.
So I'm sure it's something frothy like a frappuccino or something that will completely obfuscate the windscreen, right?
Oh, there's lots of, he likes the grinds in there is what it is, actually.
Okay. So is, what do you think? Is that fast or furious or family?
I think of him as trying to show how pretentious and cool he is because he's A, got this gizmo, and B, I'm just tossing my coffee.
Yeah, I mean, so I think this is his personality, right? So I have no problem with it being family. So right. Are you in the roll with me room? There should be a link in the chat.
Did you send us a link already?
Yeah, in the chat on the right hand panel. I'm not sure if you saw it.
Sorry, I'm opening it now.
No problem. So I think keeping ahead of SUVs is not simple, but it's not difficult. These are faceless goons. They don't have names, so they can't be important. So I think it's moderate. So I'm going to be rolling 2d6. Right. And you with family, I don't think the car tag gets into it, but do you think your gist or your conviction might come into this?
You know what? I already mentioned this espresso machine in my car. Should that be the tag, perhaps?
Okay. Yeah, that is.
I thought the electrical boost, but maybe this counts.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All mod cons in this Porsche. So roll 4 dice, and I will roll 2. And so in roll with me, you can just you can pick a color. I've picked red, and then you just click on the 6 on the left, and they roll straight out on the table. So I have rolled a 7, and you are looking for more than a 7 in total across all of your dice.
So I roll 3 times?
Yeah.
So I'm done?
Okay. So that looks like an 8 to me, which is more than a 7. So why don't you describe how you keep ahead, and then we will go up the convoy and see what's going on up ahead.
All right. Polly, there's curvy road. One of these curves times it so that the vehicle, so that when he's making which side of the road are we driving on in this country?
The right. But it's a mountain road. Maybe it's quite narrow.
There's a high-speed chase. We're going everywhere. Never mind.
We're going in the
middle. Making a right-hand turn, a tight turn, having making a left-hand turn. The rolling down the window and timing it such that when the other vehicle comes around the same turn, it won't have time to see the fact that there's this cup of dark ground coffee floating in the air, colliding with the windshield.
Okay, yeah, and I think that lead car skids, and I think the SUV right behind it swerves but clips it, and then it goes in a somersault. And I think Harley, you in the middle see this car go straight over Polly's Porsche. I've just noticed the triple alliteration there, Mander. So well done there. Yeah, so it flips and it goes straight over the Porsche, and then it's gonna come down straight on Harley's car. What do you do?
I think before that, I see what Polly's trying to do, and I just text the group WhatsApp, "Stop wasting coffee."
It's a crime against humanity to waste coffee in that kind of manner.
It's disgusting. I'm texting that while driving, which is just but I can do that. Yeah, I think I will I mean, I don't want to get hit by this car. I think I'm going to, and this is me going to display that not only am I ignorant of cars, but I've never seen a Fast and the Furious movie. Oh no! Shock, horror.
I'm disgusted.
I know. I should just go. Yeah. So this car is coming at me. I would prefer to not be hit by it. So I think, and this jives with the tag I was already thinking about for this Honda NSX. I think in Harley's hands, this Honda is quite maneuverable. So it's not the fastest per se, but like, it's not going to get caught up in corners, or in like, in tight lanes where you have to like turn. Maybe it's crap on like a straight road, but it's very good at slipping through like cracks and whatnot. So I think definitely Harley is like kind of like, yeah, just do a turn. Yeah, that's a term. Do a turn. No, just swerve through and kind of like try to cut through this line of police, just to like confuse them.
So yeah, I think this seems like a fast reactions for sure, right? So I think you're gonna roll those 3 dice and then 1 extra for the maneuverable tag on the Honda. So let me roll 2 extra dice. So I got a 7.
Okay, I'm gonna make some yellow dice. Maybe I'm just gonna make some purple and roll these. Don't get too many dice. Okay. Sorry, it's confusing because the color chooser is a slider. So like,
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's
I
not
mean,
even
I guess
the right
if
color.
you know your hex code, you can do that as well. So you're going to be rolling 46.
Okay, show up. Yes. It's great. I'll just stick to white. Wow.
Whew. Saved by that last die. Okay, so I think the camera, the catapulting SUV goes straight through the camera shot, and then comes down. And I think why don't you describe the slow mo, almost hit, but at the last moment.
I know why it's the last moment. It's because she bothered to text the group chat. This is what happens.
Don't use your phone and drive, kids. It's not safe.
Yes. So I think so we see the shot of her texting, stop wasting coffee, and then she looks up and she doesn't get surprised, but her eyes do like widen. It's like, shit. And in 2 movements, her right hand is gonna throw the phone to her passenger seat, and the left is she's just gonna like turn the car so that it'll just it'll turn in such a way. I'm bad at describing this. It'll turn in such a way that the SUV will kind of just flip over it. And now that her other hand was free, Harley's just kind of like move the steering wheel. This is all very evocative. To regain control of the car, so they can like cut through the police line and like try to like just like there's more than one person in this crew, and they will blitz through the police line.
Okay, cool. And yeah, up ahead. Well, I think there has to be a police line ahead of you now. So those chasing Swiss Polizei are obviously one half of the equation, but there's a tunnel through the mountain up ahead, and there is some French gendarmerie who are hurriedly putting up some kind of roadblock. So Jackie, how are you gonna manage to get through this?
Well, I think the shot shows Jackie driving only with one hand.
With a glass
the
of wine?
window is open on his left, and his arm with a glass of red wine is actually outside the car. He's driving a magnificent vintage, but all tuned up Fiat 131 above for the amateurs of WRC. And when he arrives there, he's like, takes a cigarette, puts it at the corner of his mouth, and he just swerves as he enters the tunnel. And what he's gonna do is gonna drive on the wall, which are curved, and he's gonna do a sort of a barrel roll, driving on the right hand wall, then on the ceiling, and land on the left hand side behind the police. Like really non-first and holding his red glass of red wine, though.
Only the centrifugal force will keep the wine in the glass,
Sounds quite furious now.
Sure. What tag are you giving your Fiat 131?
WRC?
I have no idea what that means.
It's fine. It's just a bit of video game, and my father who enjoyed this sort of thing. It's rally, it's World Rally Championship. So it's all off-road and this sort of stuff. Okay.
Well, I mean, I know nothing about rally, so doing a barrel roll inside a tunnel seems exactly what rally
classic.
means to me, right?
The Raikkonen, those guys, that's exactly the sort of things they do.
Okay.
I think it's also really into my gist, as I'm a self-proclaimed heir to a famous of stuntman. So I roll 4d6, am I right?
You roll Furious, and then Rally for your tag for the car, and then one extra for your gist, so that's 5.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not sure if this is hard or impossible.
Oops.
What do you think, Colin?
I think it's impossible.
Okay, so I will be rolling 4 dice.
So I roll 4.
You roll 5, I roll 4.
Okay, I roll 5, you roll 4.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So should I just count the total?
Give me the total. I got 13.
10, 17.
Okay. So impossible happens 9 times out of 10 in a Fast and Furious movie, right? So why don't you describe what happens, and then maybe how your fellow drivers behind you can follow suit, or maybe the French gendarmerie cars just explode with the impossibleness of the situation.
Yeah, I think as I pass by, I'm like, oh merde, I've got my bottle of red wine who flies through the window, as well as my cigarette, and they land the bottle of red wine, which is highly inflammable. Everybody knows that. It's highly dangerous. Lands on a police car, as well as the butt of my cigarette, and ignites the biggest explosion you've seen in a tunnel, so from which I emerge. And so this big cloud of smoke as Polly and Harley are arriving into it.
I text the group chat, stop wasting the wine.
We have identified Harley's weakness, which is for people wasting her beverage slash drug of choice.
It's just food in general. This coffee's never coffee. What are you doing?
I don't know about the carbon. Yeah, I'm carbon neutral. I mean, it's an old car.
Okay, so so I think this explosion has cleared the ground for Harley and for Polly, but somehow stopped the Swiss police from following you. And I think there's a small kind of parking area next to the cliff, where the road widens, and oftentimes in the summer you might see camper vans or mobile homes parked there or even a bus for a nice photo shoot. But here, I think it's a good opportunity for people to get out of the cars and stretch their legs, and maybe also give out to people for doing something so reckless. So yeah, let's have a brief scene where maybe Harley can make known her views more vociferously. You're muted, Leandro.
Thanks. I think she's just kind of like standing, arms crossed, like leaning against like her car. She doesn't look as cool outside the car as she does in the car. She looks a bit awkward. And it's just giving the two of you the silent treatment.
So you see, I told you, I'm fast on the road. Now I can show you how fast I'm in the sheets.
Hold on. Sorry, someone came in to steal a chair. I think like Harley's eyes just kind of like narrow. As if she's trying to parse what you just said.
I'm a French lover,
Right.
So where did you find those frites, Polly? Well, those Germans. They were Germans? No, Fritz, Frankfurter.
I don't understand.
The Germans, the one in the black Mercedes.
Oh, yes, they must have been tipped off by our absconding with this delicate information about the royals and their embarrassing to-dos.
Well, it's delicate, Franco-German friendship. That's very important.
Well, I think once this information is made public, there'll be a resettling of alliances much more significantly than simply between these two countries.
Yeah, I do that only to become famous. I don't care about the politics.
Oh, no, of course not. We're just doing it because we're good souls who want the truth to be put out there. Yes, of course. Oh, could you stand a little bit to the left? I want my dash cam to be able to be recording our conversation so I can publish it later, just to let the world know how selfless we are.
Oh, wait, I'm going to give you my best angle then.
Ah, yes, that's very good.
Harley's head turns towards the dash cam and would just say, if you're watching this in the future, stop wasting coffee, please. And that's back at the two of you.
All right,
what's
I'm going to
next?
make sure that the dash cam is on record but not stream, and be all right. Right, we must our plan A route and our plan B route, they seem to have caught on to. I think we'll need a C or a D.
I think you say D, and Harley immediately gives Jackie a glare as a player. Don't you say it?
Jackie nods knowingly and winks at Harley.
Isn't that your job to come up with C or D or E or F or G or H or I or J or K
Whenever
or
we
L or...
Good point there. We should be numbering our plans. Plan number 3.
Otherwise, Harley, you let me know whenever we reach the point G.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Please continue.
You're not interrupting anything. Get on with your plan.
Is this just the regular banter that Harley and Jackie engage in, or is this an actual fight?
I think this is just what's regular. I don't know if this is a fight. Yeah, this seems par for the course.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, I said, please. Fighting is so dramatic. Can you make sure you step over here so you're in complete view of the dash cam?
Harley says, "Put exactly where she is."
Come on, Harley, get closer. You need to be in the view of the dash cam.
And I don't need to be in the view of anything. I just need to get back to driving. What's the plan?
Of course. Then we can celebrate the French way with champagne. That's not
Perhaps
champagne.
since
That's red.
the best way to cross the border, they're constructing a new version of the Large Hadron Collider, and they simply have the tunnel made, but not the equipment put in. I believe we'll be able to cross the border by going underground through the tunnel.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that. What if we have to outrun like it turning? Okay, we'll cross that bridge.
That would only be impossible, and we've already done 5 impossible things before breakfast. So,
And beware, if they're doing testing of the equipment, hold on to your wheels tightly. The magnetic field will make steering tremendously difficult and might make your car not function as expected.
We can outrun magnetism.
I mean, not Jackie's magnetism, anyway.
Apparently not. I'd be down for that. Polly, Jackie.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
All
Love
right.
it.
Well, I think that perhaps maybe we might want to have an order in which we drive, such that, well, I believe since you're Harley, I wouldn't say you're not fast, not simply because you punch me, I'm sure, but because you actually truly are. I will concede, sometimes on a statistical spread, faster than either of us. So perhaps you should go first so you can perhaps do a little scouting and send us any text messages about what we need to do to prepare for what lies ahead. So perhaps you could be just a mile ahead of us, telling us what's coming up, so that we can give you some informed backup.
Harley looks at the two of you she talks slow. That's her problem, and she just nods very slowly. Sure.
And I can be in the back. I'm not afraid of taking something in the back.
You are extraordinarily flexible in every way.
Oh, I am.
Yes, I've heard. My microphones have picked it up. Unfortunately, not on the dash cam yet. Right. Perhaps we should here's the GPS coordinate and the route that we should perhaps take. This route is the most direct route, which is probably not the best route. So just Perhaps we'll need to head that direction most of the time.
Harley nods slowly again.
So Harley, you're in the lead. Right?
Oh, we're just gonna get right into it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, sorry. Unless anyone wants to.
No. We need a
battle.
20-minute bonding scene between. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. The bonding scenes are what gets us from one car chase to the next. That's how I understand the plot of this type of movie. Okay, so yeah, why don't you describe this? As the crow flies. Unfortunately, you're not a crow, but you are going first. So why don't you describe how less than ideal this road that Polly has picked out is?
Yeah, because I think, well, we have to get to the Large Hadron Collider. The thing is, like, it's under construction. So I think to get there, I think we're going off the beaten path because, if they're building this thing, they don't want to like interfere with like public ordinance or whatnot. So we will have to cut through like some foresty areas. And this is me displaying my ignorance of geography. There must be some forest near Monte Carlo. I'm not sure. Is the Large Hadron Collider even near Monte Carlo? Where is Monte Carlo even?
I think we are making anyone with a rudimentary knowledge of geography blush right now. But yes, there are forests.
I got the rudimentary knowledge, and I just love that we have German policemen, we've got the Large Hadron Collider, Swiss bankers, and the border to Italy. It could work in someone writing a script in Hollywood.
Yeah. I mean, it fits so well to the genre that I think that is an accuracy in and of itself.
And mind you, this is the newer Large Hadron Collider. It's even larger.
Yeah, it's larger.
Yeah.
It's the larger
Hadron Collider.
That would imply that there's going to be a third one in the way because this is just the second one.
But the ore in the last ore in larger is a capital ore because I don't know. There's a larger for that.
They are building a larger Hadron Collider. So, planning one.
Yeah, so I think because it's directly towards Large Hadron Collider, the larger one that's being built. Yeah, the larger one. It means I have to cut through a construction site.
Okay.
So that's the less ideal part.
That is less than ideal, but I'm sure this was not on the map that Polly has because it's changing so frequently. Okay, yeah. So why don't you describe what kind of inconceivable feats of driving you have to, maybe you have to drive up a ramp or something like this. I'm imagining like that parkour scene at the start of Casino Royale, but in a car.
I know exactly which one. There is like they've cut into the ground, so there's like this big gap. And I'm driving through this construction site. I'm like climbing up this like structure, but there's like a gap, but it's still a bit too far. Thankfully, there's a conveniently placed like magnet crane. Just like hanging close enough that I can just maneuver my car. I can attach the magnet of this magnet crane to my roof, and it'll give me the momentum to swing over this inexplicable gap in this building that's being constructed. And when we see Harley, she's very intensely concentrated, but like less stiff for sure. She looks like she's concentrated, but like she's like, I can nail this. I'm comfortable. This is what I do. Yeah, that's the stunt.
So you drive up the ramp and clip onto the hanging magnet and swing across this gap, and then somehow the magnet releases you, and
wow.
that I mean, I don't know. There's nothing past impossible, but
did you ever see that sequence of Vin Diesel driving from one skyscraper to the next one, and then to the next one?
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So maybe what needs to happen is you need to go so fast that when it finally reaches the end of the arc, you still have momentum to release it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to suggest that you might have to, spill some tea up there to loosen the magnetic.
I wouldn't spill any tea. Do you think Harley would waste that shit?
No.
God, no.
Yeah, I mean, so I think this is impossible, right? So I'll roll 4 dice. What are you going to roll?
I gotta go fast.
Okay, yeah.
To break the momentum. I think. Let's see. Let me look at my gist. I don't know how bouncing from foster family. That's not gonna work. I'm determined to never be last. I should have said that's my conviction. So I'm always like just really fast, and I think this would fit in this just to break enough of the momentum.
Yeah. I mean, they put you in front place, and you cannot drop out of that pole position, right?
Exactly. I don't think maneuver will count here because maneuver was going around corners.
So why don't you roll 4 dice?
Yes.
And let's see how this goes.
Ooh.
Oh, so that is 15.
I rolled 16.
Well, that is an inch is as good as a mile or a quarter mile in this game. So why don't you describe how that looks on camera?
I think like the inch is just like Harley feels like the roof of the Honda give a little as it in that split second the magnet might just be a bit too strong and it'll just hang on and Harley might have to the roof might be sheared off. But she knows this car. She knows that this thing is like tougher than aged goat's cheese. That's not that tough. I don't know why I didn't have an idea for what's tough. Aged steak. There we go. That's pretty tough. So she knows that she knows she's fast enough. This is the believing in the heart of the cards version part of this franchise. We believe in the speed. So I think also it helps that she clipped the magnet clasp off a girder, so that really helped. I think that might have been a better that might have been a more logical way to get this magnet clasp off. She managed to I don't know how you let this happen, but you did. It's great.
So yeah, there is amazed construction workers looking at this. There is maybe the impossible thing that happens to release you from the magnetic is the worker in the crane sees you on his prized magnet and releases you just in time, or is tapping the button to try to drop you into some kind of huge pool of liquid concrete, but the release happens just a split second too late.
Yeah. Oh, Donna, your volume went really low.
How's that now?
No, it's going lower. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Just plugged it back in.
Oh, it went down again. Oh no.
Okay, how is this now?
It's much lower.
Let me see if I can get a quick replacement headset.
Cool.
2 minutes. Okay.
Donald's grabbing a replacement headset back in 2 minutes. If I heard a rumor spread, Fast and Furious is going to space. This is like kids games compared to what's happening.
Yeah, what's gonna happen now after that?
Be fine. Look, we just got to make our escape. We just gotta get from one end of the Large Hadron Collider to the other. I don't even know where we're escaping to.
Italy. I mean,
We
if
are
we
already in Italy, right?
no, we're in Monte Carlo in France.
Oh, okay.
We're in Monaco. There's France and there's Italy.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But I
Sorry,
think the larger collider just go through all the countries in that area.
yeah, it wouldn't go to Italy. Maybe it'll go
Yeah, I
to.
think so. Yeah, so you need to.
France to like Switzerland to Italy might work.
Yeah.
Monaco is not that far.
Um,
Yeah, recording.
okay, we're recording again.
Okay, you're doing it great.
Excellent. Okay, cool. So remind me where we were. We had just gotten Harley through the building site of the larger Hadron Collider. My astrophys friends are going to be so embarrassed to know me now after this.
Your astrophysicist friends are
Yes,
looking,
yes.
are watching this.
Well, they will after I tell them about the larger Hadron Collider.
Well, if you want to make him really cringe, call it the larger Hadroner Collider.
So
I love that. It's official. It's a larger hadron
Yeah,
collider.
So who is next in this in the new marching order, as it were?
Oh, I think that would be me. Probably Prescott will. I don't know. For some reason, I see him with the BlackBerry. That makes no sense. Anyway, we'll message Harley. We'll drive up and see this like impossible to pass like barrier and crane and whatnot, but see that Harley's vehicles on the other side, and actual we'll send a text message saying, Harley, good friend, would you mind like opening the gate? I have no idea how you made it into that area.
Harley is gonna message back. The message 2 words: hacker voice. And next message: I'm in. I'm not sure. Okay, all right. I have to open the gate because I'm in. Gosh, how to do that?
Or maybe there's not a gate. Maybe there's like another crane that has some like shipping container that you can lower to bridge a chasm. Like whatever makes sense. This is kind of vague in my mind still what this area is.
Okay. Okay. I think. Okay. I think there might be some shipping containers that can be like tipped to form like a. This is a proper video game logic now. Yeah. So you need to cross this chasm, but you can't. You don't have to keep doing the same ridiculous stunt. So I think. Yeah.
Of course not. That's impossible.
Yeah. There's probably like some sort of bridge extending thing that Harley just couldn't be bothered because she wanted to go fast. So I think she'll have to get out of her car. I think she texts to you, Polly, you did this. I'm out of the car now. How dare you?
I'll text back, I'm averting my eyes, and I won't look at her nakedness as she's no longer clothed in her vehicle. Like her vehicle is her clothing, and now she's stepping out.
Yeah, she's fine, but you notice something when she like runs to like get this like bridge, extending bridge for your cars. Yeah, she has a silly run. She runs like a penguin. It's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna try to extend this bridge for them.
Okay, well, yeah, I think you are, is this Polly like talking his way through the problem and trying to, direct Harley to do his bidding? Is this the challenge?
Sure. Polly sees that this is impossible, has no idea how Harley did this, and so is trying to try to persuade Harley, excuse me, to make it so we can pass through this barrier.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So that sounds like a family role to me. I don't know if you think either your gist or your conviction would come into play.
I guess Polly could use some conviction and try to be his notion of what suave is. I guess I can play on the hi. I'll get outside of my vehicle as well. We can disrobe we can take off our seatbelt. I'm taking off my seatbelt
Polly, tell
slowly.
me what to do. Don't, Polly, tell me what to do.
That crane there, the magnet, maybe you can use it to place the shipping containers to make a stack of rows so that we can drive over the shipping containers and into the inner the secure area of the larger hadron or collider.
Polly, is this going to be slow?
No, this is going to be so fast. The reason why it's going to be fast is you're just going to drop those shipping containers. You're not going to place them. You're going to lift them up and just drop them. They're going to fall down fast.
This is where you have to make the roll.
So you need to drive on the shipping container as they are falling. Okay.
Oh, of course. What was I thinking?
Because otherwise it won't make any sense. I mean,
because they're excavating and there's this big trench and it's muddy, and so they're sinking into the ground as they're being placed. So as we're driving on them, putting even more weight on them, we have to drive to the next shipping container.
Okay.
So this is really just like that time when you had to explain to your friend, your one and only geek friend, exactly how to win the final level of this ultra hard platform game back in 1998, or whatever. Okay, so roll this.
So you have to stack them up, because you have to stack up the I guess the containers and tip them so they all fall.
Yeah, and then drive up that. Yeah, okay. So this is sounding more impossible than really hard. I was starting with hard because I like to be able to go back to impossible for the next thing. But okay, I'll stick with hard because this sounds like it might work. So I'll be rolling 3 dice, and I guess you will be rolling 4.
Me?
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
So this is your master genius plan.
Yes, master. So that's 1 die. I don't know how I read roll. Oh, there.
So if you click on the die, and then you can click on the others, and then you see this little circle arrow symbol appear on the bottom of the page, and then you can just click on that and we will all selected.
Circle arrow. I'm sorry, I'm not used to. I've never used this before.
Oh, yeah. Let me share the screen.
Circle arrow. Add token. Manage image.
Okay, so if you click on one of your dice,
okay,
you see this roll selected die here again.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what I re-rolled. So if you click on something and then click on the next one and click on the next one, you don't have to hold down shift or anything.
Okay.
So I got an 8, and then when I click on that roll selected dice, it'll just re-roll all of them.
Okay.
So it should be that simple. Should be.
That's weird. Okay. The dice on my
Or if you want, you can just roll 3 in a new color, or you can delete some if you want to.
All right. I selected these purple ones. I'm clicking roll selected dice, and they've done the roll.
Okay, cool. So that is more than me. That's 14. I rolled an 8. You rolled a 14. So I think this goes so well. I think why don't you describe how it looks, and then Jackie can drive over them if he wants to.
Yeah, let's do that. Jackie is like a stuntman, air family. It's gonna jump all over that.
So the plan works. How does Polly's plan like work? How does he present that? And it just works, right?
Yeah.
You stacked up all these shipping containers and you put the final one on so they all sort of tilted and fell down. And we drove over them as they were sinking dramatically into the mud, but just in time, our vehicles were able.
So I think what you did, Ollie, you rode it, but as it was falling, the tower. So picture a Jenga tower, you would be rolling as it was falling. And once they're floating, Jackie arrives, and what he does is more landing on one as it starts sinking, and then he jumps on the next one. So it's more like, how do you call that? Trial? When they do with the
mountain bikes?
Yeah, the motorbikes or the BMX.
Yeah.
But with my Fiat, like.
Okay.
And I can just imagine your Fiat.
And then it lifts and the next one.
Your Fiat's intentionally like staying to the last moment on the far end of the shipping container to make it like sink up one way like a ramp, so it can then skid up and launch to the next one.
Exactly, it's very precise.
Very furious. All this time, Harley's like in this crane thinking they could have just done what I did.
But
that's impossible. You did.
Impossible. I did it.
I would say it's hard. I think what I did is hard. It's not impossible.
I think it's. I can imagine it happening. Right. Which is a whole different level of thing that would never happen. Impossible. Okay, so in terms of your rolling, then what do you think this is? Is this?
I think it's Furious, heir to a famous family of stuntmen.
Okay, and it's quite rough. I think you're going to be in danger of being crushed by things or rolled over into the mud to an ignominious end. As a construction worker, maybe.
Droned.
So I think stuntman probably comes into this.
Yep.
And rally car. This is not a standard rally move, but it's.
What do you know of rally?
I was about to say it's no less rally than doing a barrel roll to a.
If you look the Finnish WRC, that's one of the. What they call that? Special. They call that a special.
Yeah, this is a special track in the 2021 circus. Yeah. Okay, so I'll roll 3, and you, I think, roll 5.
5? Oh.
Yeah. So I only got an 11. So.
Wait. Over here. Oh. Over here. I rolled a 18.
Okay, that's pretty good. So yeah, I think there's a like you said. I think there's a moment when you have to like reverse your feet up to tilt the shipping container and play the clutch very, very carefully before you use it as a ramp to get off. Any other magical moments that are caught on Polly's dash cam for posterity?
There's a moment when I drive from something went a bit hairy, so the container started to swing a bit, rotate, and I did a barrel roll to get on the next one.
Of course you did, yeah. Hey, yeah. So I think that's a good spot for a commercial break.
You're laughing, everyone, but someone in Hollywood at Paramount might be watching this and just taking notes, and then you watch the next Fast and Furious, and that's exactly what happens on screen.
And I think your character would have to have a pendant that is like a bottle opener That's a corkscrew.
Oh yeah, no,
that
no, no.
represents your favorite move.
Oh yeah, okay. That's a classic Julien corkscrew.
Yeah. Okay. Do we want to take a 5-minute break? And
Sure.
okay, cool. I'll see you back here at. Okay, so welcome back. I think we have done probably the most impossible thing I've ever done in a role-playing game, but I don't think we have pushed the dial to 11 yet. So yeah, let's have a quiet scene before as we drive slowly into the larger Hadron Collider for the true fireworks of the night. What's the chatter like over the radio, or on the on the team WhatsApp rather?
It's probably a group call. Just we just don't have to keep sending messages to each other. So what's the destination?
Well, we need to get this information to a government that will not suppress it. My contacts in Italy are reliable. I believe if we get it to them there, then this information can be shown to the world, and our selfless acts of heroism will just be a small 40-point type footnote of how this information was brought to the world.
Yeah, I think what's the technical bit once we are in the larger Hadron Collider is that thing is a circle. It's this gigantic roundabout. If we take the wrong exit, we're gonna end up in Switzerland, Germany, or France, maybe even Belgium. So it's very important.
Large.
It's very important to take the right exit.
Or if you miss your exit, you could be going around this forever. I mean, till the end of the universe.
Forever. We could go back to the beginning of the universe. Also, we need to be 200 kilometers per hour when we take the exit. Otherwise, the momentum won't be enough to pull us off the magnetic
They're currently
field.
running tests. If we go too slow, the magnetic pulses will just tear our vehicle apart.
And we're gonna have to be precise. We gotta be fast and precise, gentlemen. There's like I imagine there's like a pause as we all contemplate our lives, I guess. I don't know.
Cascade.
Yes, contemplate my life. My character looks at the display and sees on the touch display that there's already a little bit of distortion from the magnetic field as we are approaching the heart of the collider, kind of stealing the nerves.
And this is only the first movie in the series, so we can't have any black and white flashbacks to touching moments in the previous movie. But I think we still have to see some kind of thoughts of what the characters have left behind. Jackie, what are we seeing in his flashback?
Jackie is north of France at a outdoor fry shop. So it's like a food truck, but lamer. And they only sell fried potatoes. And he's there with a big bag of fried fries. He's a teenager, and he's asking his mother, "But Mom, who's my real father?" And she just points at the magazine lying on the floor. This guy, and the magazine shows a portrait and exclusive interview of famous stuntman Remy Julien, and you see Jackie holding it and say, oh, "Is he my father, really? I will prove I'm worthy of his legacy." And his mother is just lighting a cigarette and shrugging like, "Okay, I guess I succeeded at telling him that."
And how about Harley? What thoughts are going through her mind right now?
I think we get like a montage of different shots of like Harley being presented to this family in the suburbs, spends a day like awkwardly at dinner, not saying anything, and then at night, goes has stolen like the car keys to this family's car and is driven off. And then we cut to like the police having caught up with her, probably in some sort of border, on the border of a country, and bringing her back. And then we cut to like another family, another car theft, police bringing her back. But this time, each time they catch her, it's always farther and farther away, in each cut. And every time Harley's just thinking that like next time will be faster, next time will be faster, until we get like the final shot of Harley closer to the age that she is like now, just having left the police so far behind. She's driving like across this like this, I guess, kind of bucolic looking mountain path somewhere in like maybe Austria, and she sees that like they're not even on her like on her rear view mirror anymore. People are chasing her, and I think in this flashback is the only time we kind of see her like break out in like a genuine kind of like a smile, and then she goes faster.
And how about Polly?
Polly has a flashback to being like maybe even high school, and he has this DIY drone he made, and he's flying it around this girl that he has a crush on, and she's like says, "Polly, get that noisy thing out. It's totally useless. Like the world right now has so much like political corruption, and you just like are adding noise to it. Why don't you do something useful?" And he's like, thinking his cool thing's not cool because it's not useful. And he's like flashing to now. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do something that's cool and useful.
Okay, and I think just to add some unwarranted tension to the scene, you see a bright yellow Lamborghini drive up behind you, and this is Herr Schneider, who is the head of security for the Swiss bank that you have stolen all these ruinous legal and financial papers from. And what he is going to do is he's going to drive past you and flip the switch at your exit turn off in order to magnetize all of your cars and destroy them, so that along with all of the information on that data packet. So that is obviously the only way he can foil your plan. So I think so this is like a race, right? So he wants to get there first. A race in Love by the Quarter Mile is done in 10 rounds. And so these are like normal skill checks, except it's we describe who is winning in every round, and when we get to the 10th round, whoever has the highest number wins the race. Okay. And obviously you want to grind Herr Schneider into the dirt, or into the larger Hadron Collider, whichever works for you. Or
just slow him down enough that his vehicle tears apart.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So let me think. Herr Schneider is fast, but not obviously as fast as Harley. And I think his Lamborghini is just built for pure speed. So I'm going to give him 3 dice in this race. But I'm just going to keep rolling 3, right? Unless anything spectacular happens. Whereas you, obviously, being fast is very obvious, but you can be furious if you're going to try to sideswipe him or do something that is more like a fight in the car. And then if you're, really playing into the emotion or your character history or personality, you can use your family, and the car tags will work every time. Okay. So how does that sound?
Sure.
And a round is like 1 second, right?
Yeah, I mean, in a normal drag race, right, you finish the race in 10 seconds, right? So obviously you're going so fast that you can do the quarter circuit or the or whatever of this enormous larger hadron collider in 10 seconds. But I'm not going to work at the math. I'm just going to assume that it's correct. So yeah, okay. So if everyone gets their dice ready, maybe actually, now that I think of it, we should do something cool, like when Schneider drives up behind you. I want to get a quick idea of what his personality is like from when you encountered him back at the bank during the heist. So let's go in character keep order and just like add one thing to the picture about him or about the heist. So Jackie, what do you remember about Schneider?
I remember Schneider. We used to be part of the same crew of stuntmen when I was finding my first ways, and I think his face is scarred, like partially burnt, because of a stunt which went the wrong way. We were together in the same car. I was at the wheel. He was supposed to film what was going on, and thing went wrong, and it's unclear whose fault it was. Probably Jackie's.
But he blames Jackie, no matter whose fault it is,
Of course,
presumably.
of course.
Yeah, okay.
When I see him, I'm like, oh, you, Schneider.
Okay.
What? He's actually French. Why are you bringing your Alsatian ass over here?
Okay. And Harley, what do you remember about Schneider?
I'm tempted to add some ridiculous soap opera backstory to him or something mundane. Look, okay, if Vin Diesel and John Cena can be brothers, we can do anything. Yeah.
This is why Harley doesn't tell anyone her real second name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't want people to know that this dick is my brother, who got lucky compared to Harley. When our parents died, we were separated, and he got to, like, privileged Swiss family who gave him everything he wanted, and just that means he's grew up with, like, just no respect for anything else. And how dare he thinks he's fast? He's never had to go anywhere.
He has no respect for speed. Is that what you're saying? Okay. And Polly, how about you?
Yeah, so remember that flashback? Well, the gal I had a crush on, it was actually Herr Schneider that he actually ended up winning her. He was cool at the time, and still is, I won't admit it, cooler than me. He's just so, like, debonair and handsome with his, like, cool scar now. He just, conversation piece right there. Polly Prescott is determined to be even more dashing, and this time he's going to be even more cool. He's going to outcool him this time.
Okay. This Schneider guy is real interesting. It's going to be a future PC. I can feel it. If he doesn't die, he's going to be a science fiction campaign PC.
Even if he dies.
Well, time travel. He's in the larger Hadron Collider after all. He can be dematerialized into another world anytime. Okay, so let's drive. I am going to roll Schneider's dice. Okay, so I got a 10. So let me put that in. Okay. Everyone else roll your dice and put in your total.
What's that? Are we rolling? Just fast?
However you want it, you know. So I mean,
Okay.
I guess Harley has no reason not to be fast, but
Yeah, that's true.
if she just cares about winning the race and not doing anything different to her brother.
Maybe later. Right now, like maybe it didn't really twig to me that it was Herr Schneider's like, oh, I'm gonna be cut off. Oh, fuck off! I'm moving this car in front of you. So car tags always like fit in a race. Right?
Not always, but
Okay.
if they're applicable, right?
Okay.
But again,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not super difficult to work them in, right?
Yeah. I'm definitely trying to maneuver myself in front of him. So
Speed, like going faster than him, will maneuver you in front of him. I mean, technically, right?
yes, that is true. Oh, that's a lot. That's a 21.
That is a lot. Okay, so put that total in your column, and let's get totals from the rest of them before we describe how the race is going.
Isn't that a 22?
That is a lot, yes. 22. Oh, yes, 22.
Oh, yeah, it's
2
22.
5s, 2 6s.
Yes. Yeah. It's that extra inch, you know. We learned that from the crane stunt.
Every little helps.
What's happening now?
So we're waiting for your roll. Amanda?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm
So
sorry, I didn't realize.
because everyone is racing right now.
Okay. Can I give us a narrative as to what I'm doing?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Polly Prescott, he wants to be cool, but he still is the nerd he always was, and realizes that Polly Prescott picks out a particular song that not only has some deep bass, but he knows from the rhythm and the frequencies that are in this song that not just the sound waves are going to affect the Larger Hadron Collider equipment to manipulate the magnetic field around this Lamborghini's vehicle, but it's also the drivers and his speakers have their own magnetic distortion that's going to also manipulate the magnetic field from the Larger Hadron Collider to put more stress on the Lamborghini. It's going to he's not going to be like ramming his vehicle into the Lamborghini. He's going to be using this particular song's frequencies, magnetic pulses basically, to affect the Larger Hadron Collider and have that be tearing apart his car.
I mean, I guess you find the right frequency for yellow, right? That's
well, the Lamborghinis, which mind you, Lamborghinis they break down by themselves practically.
Yeah, well,
so just need a little push.
a little nudge in the wrong direction. Okay, so that sounds like it's all about nerddom. So I guess that is family plus nerd, right? So four dice.
4 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to hit. Well, I'm going to move them and hit roll. And what do we have here? 10, 16.
Okay, so yeah. So I guess Schneider started behind you, and he's still behind you. But when we get a sense for, obviously Harley is way out front, jamming a hole in the floor of her car with the accelerator, while Polly and Jackie are more in the middle, just keeping their nose in front of Schneider.
Harley's going to do something probably she shouldn't, even though she's ahead.
Yeah.
She kind of sees in the rearview mirror, in this 1 second of the second round, it's Herr Schneider. And she sees it's his face. Even though it's scarred, it's still that prick. So she's going to reach into, compared to the other two, her car is quite modest, but she does have a cup holder for the banana milkshake. She's going to unroll one of the windows. He's gonna
I mean,
take
this
this
is
banana
this is
milkshake.
shocking if what's going to happen is what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I think we get another flashback, and it's the two of them young, about to be fostered off, and Schneider is making himself up to be like, the most angelic, beatific boy out there, so that the best family will get him. I don't know how fostering works, but and remembers how he just left her behind, and she's like, well, that's never gonna happen again. So she's gonna take this milkshake. Oh, she's not gonna drink it, sadly, no. She'll take this milkshake and she'll throw it out the window, and it'll, in the centrifugal force of this large hadron collider, hopefully it'll hit her Schneider. This is family.
This is family, yeah, for sure. So,
and I'm using my gist as well.
Yep.
And
Okay.
conviction as well. So I still got at least 3
Okay,
dice.
still 3 dice. Yeah. Okay. So how about?
Can I do an assist or at least add to the fiction?
Yeah, add to the fiction. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
When I see this, I'm like, oh, this is the one time I feel all right about you giving your milkshake to Herr Schneider. Now going to be a much better shade of yellow.
Okay. And how about Jackie? How are you? Are you still just putting the rally car through its paces?
What I'd like to do is actually for the next round to family, although it's not a strong start with me. I'm gonna appeal. So I got my CB because of course those cards, they all have CBs. That's all they communicate. So I can communicate with Schneider. I say, Schneider, you were like a brother to me. We were partners. We were supposed to go to Hollywood together. You would be my Dolph Lundgren to my Jean-Claude Van Damme. Please, you're gonna get us all killed. We can all get out of this together.
So I think somehow in this Lamborghini, he still has a CB radio, right? Because that's the stuntman's code, and he rips the CB radio out of its receiver and says, if you had been thinking about your driving back then we would still be like brothers. But you betrayed me when you took your eyes off the road to smoke your cigarette and drink your wine. How dare you talk to me about brotherhood?
You were so right. I should have been drinking beer. It's not as inflammable.
Okay, so I think that is certainly using your gist with your stuntman. So that's 2 dice, I guess. Yeah. Okay, and sorry, Mander, are you? I know you're adding to the flavor with your.
I'm just
message.
laughing to myself because I'm imagining like the movie poster for this is just going to be like a spilled cup of espresso and wine and milkshake.
The teaser promos are going to be so confusing, Yeah, it is very rich of Schneider to get angry at someone for abandoning them. Sorry,
You're
Colin,
muted,
you're
Cal.
muted.
It's gonna be a teaser poster for each of the characters. So it's gonna have spilled coffee, spilled wine, spilled what was it? I don't remember.
Milkshake.
Spilled beer. Spilled
Banana.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to be maybe 3 colors red, like the Cornetto trilogy,
Anyway, that's what I was laughing at. I saw that picture in my mind of the movie poster.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm rolling my 3 dice for my GISC drive and.
Yeah. Okay. I rolled whatever triple boxcars is on his 3d6, 18 on his. So you're bringing out the worst in him.
9.
Oh no, he's catching up.
He's catching up. In fact, he is in total just 1 behind Harley now and ahead of the other 2. So, Mander, if you add your total now based on your roll. You'll see
Am
exactly.
I re-rolling?
Oh no! So we're rolling our dice every round, depending on what we're doing. 'Cause it's a longer term race, not just a one-off.
Oh, okay, so am I rolling again?
Yeah. So I can't remember. I know you were adding to the fiction in terms of
Oh, right.
Harley support, but how are
Oh,
you
okay,
racing this
sure,
round?
that could be my turn. I thought I just add to, but sure, I'll just re-roll. I'll have that be my thing. So, what? 6, 12, 15, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So yeah, you're nosing in front. Why don't you describe how this round goes for you?
Who?
So sorry, for Polly, why don't you describe
Okay.
how this goes, seeing as you're in front now?
All right. I think it's my vehicle is going to. I'm going to try to outcool him. I'm going to flip on all the vanity lights that my vehicle has. So it has like those lights on the bottom that make the vehicle look like it's glowing. And I've got all these lights that are also make it like glow in the back, and these like lasers and whatnot to make it all super blingy. And I'm going to try to maneuver my vehicle so that my lights and the lasers that are shooting out that make it all cool are blinding him. Like, who's the show off now? Me. And I'll roll. or
Okay. And how about so this is the third round, right? So yeah, I think this strikes me as family as well, right? It's you're hitting them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Very grand.
No, go ahead.
I already clicked the roll button.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh, that was you describing your previous role, not yet the round 3 one.
Oh, okay. So we've done round 2. We have the rolls, we have the totals. So yeah, we can go ahead to round 3 now. So let's go around the table again and get people's approaches.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah.
So according to these standings, I noticed we have a finish line at the end. So Polly's in the lead with their light show. If you scroll to the right in the crew tab, if you move that scroll bar to the right, there's a finish line at the end of all these rounds. Polly's in the lead right now with 31 points. And I think that's enough to like, Harley's like, oh, I got distracted by family bullshit and I have to be first, so she's just going to gun it.
Back to what you know, right?
Exactly, yeah. So I'm going back to being fast and determined to never be last.
Yeah. Sounds fair. How about Jackie?
I think Jackie, in a scene which would have been foreshadowed by the tunnel scene earlier, is going to drive on the wall of the collider. But what he's going to do is going to land roof first on the roof of Herr Schneider's car.
Okay. So this certainly seems like furious stuntman action, right?
Yep. So,
okay.
And WRC. So, because that's the sort of thing you see in WRC.
And how about Polly? What's your approach?
Oh wow. I can't top that. I know. Polly has been playing that music to like try to tear apart the Lamborghini by using the drivers and the magnetic field. And he's going to change tactics, and he's going to start playing the song that was playing at the high school dance. And except this time, I'm going to start moving my vehicle to the music as though like my vehicle is now dancing, and I'm going to be kind of like challenging him to a dance off by dancing with your car.
Okay, yeah. That's so obvious. I don't know why I didn't think of it. So, family, for sure. I'm not sure if a gist or conviction comes into this, but I'm happy to hear an argument for it.
I'm the reverse engineer. I am the reverse engineer to James Bond, so maybe he's trying to be suave in this.
Okay,
and like,
yeah. Sure.
So that, how many dice?
So that will be 4.
All right, rolling.
The luck of those 666s last this turn. I got 5 in total in that roll.
So I rolled 17.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And Colin, how did you roll on that round?
14.
14. Yeah. Okay. So there are fighting rules, right, for Furious, and if I'm going to follow those, you take 1 wound for every 3 points you failed by, or that you beat him by. So that is 11, which I think totals his car. So you land on the Lamborghini, and I think only the laid back seats really helps him survive, because you crush the roof into him, and maybe his stuntman instincts take over, but he is jammed in there, and I think now you are on top of his car. This is obviously why he is driving so slowly, right? Because he is now driving along with a Fiat on his roof, and he can barely touch the steering wheel.
So I think my car will. What I try to do is flip my car so it drives side by side with him. I'm driving on the left-hand side, and I'm raising with my arm. I throw my glass of red wine. Look, I throw my wine for you. Grab my hand. We can get out of that together. And I roll family for that on the next round. I'm gonna try to pull him out of the car if he's willing to take my hand.
Okay. So yeah, you can do that. How about Harley? What are you doing?
I don't give a damn about this family drama. I've done my bit. He's well behind. If Jackie wants to be soft. Meanwhile, Polly's ahead of me somehow by 2 points. I can't believe it. I'm just gonna keep.
This is, if you lose this race, it will be a disgrace.
Oh yeah. No, this will be disgusting for her. So this is still
still fast.
Yeah. Technically, she's furious, but this is her being fast.
Okay. And how about Polly? You're in the lead again. I think it's proof that you are as cool as all the cool kids, right?
Exactly. I think that, however, I'll see that Harley's predicament and is, it just seems wrong for me to be in front of Harley. So I'll position my vehicle such that I can tap on the brakes and basically make sure the Lamborghini gets totaled by me basically ramming it.
Okay. So this sounds like a furious attack, right?
I think so.
Okay.
There's nothing subtle about this.
There is nothing subtle about this. But there is nothing subtle about this. This is just a ramming attack. So that is...
I want to slow down that Lamborghini enough to have the the Large Hadron Collider, totally like tear it to bits.
Okay. So, do you think a gist or conviction work in with this somehow?
Maybe my I was a nerd back when that got you punched. Like,
Yeah, taking the fight back to the nerd puncher.
also using my knowledge of the Large Hadron Collider, like to like realize this is the way to destroy the cars, just to slow it down enough.
Okay, cool. Okay, so roll 2 dice for that, and I will
All right, let's
re-roll
see.
for Schneider. Okay,
Hold on, me try to make sure I'm
Yes.
selecting only 2. And roll. 8.
Okay, so did you roll yet, Callum?
I rolled an 8.
Okay, cool. And how about for Jackie? What's your roll there?
I don't think I rolled.
Okay.
So 11, 15, 16.
Okay. So I think what we see is, Schneider knows that he has no hope, and just as Polly's Porsche, smashes back into the Lamborghini, crushing it and where Schneider would be, he takes Jackie's hand and gets pulled out. As your car rolls off him, pulls his hand and yeah, and he's hanging out the window. Looking at your new tattoos, right, that you've gotten since the stuntman days, and the Lamborghini is like, it's been this collision has rendered into sub smithereens. It's gone into the quantum level of wrecked.
It went quantum. It went full quantum. It made a quantum leap. This Lamborghini is gonna incarnate herself into a pregnant woman in the 60s.
So, I mean, technically, I think that is the race over, right? But I think, we have to have some kind of bad guy, non-remorse, heel face turn. Schneider holds on to Jackie's hand, and with his other hand, he pulls a pistol out of his the back waistband of his trousers, and shouts at you to stop right now and to hand over all the information that you stole from his employers. That's all he cares about now.
My vehicle, I guess, is close to his.
Yeah, you could I don't know, ram into him, no problem. But
I guess it's getting kind of cliche at this point, but just
we're gonna worry about that now.
Throw some hot coffee at him, like scalding hot coffee.
Yeah,
he's holding onto the pistol, but like from behind.
I think we missed the turn for not cliche many, many miles ago.
By an entire quarter mile.
Yeah. How about you, Jackie? What are you doing at this final betrayal?
You just see Jackie crying. You'd be like, me, I was supposed to be like Jean-Claude Van Damme. You were supposed to be my Dolph Lundgren. Adieu, Schneider. Yeah. And I release him.
Okay, cool. How about Harley?
Wow, she's so far ahead. She doesn't know this is happening. I think she probably, even though she's quite a bit far away, she can see at least some kind of drama is happening on her review mirror. And I think she just thinks to herself, it could have been something, brother. Single tear rolls down her cheek as she just guns forward towards the exit. Could have been something.
Okay, so I'm going to roll 2 dice for Schneider. And I think for Polly, it's probably Furious again. Based on essentially flat out murdering him, right, by a sideswipe. For Jackie, does it seem like family to you, or what do you think?
Yeah, family.
Okay.
I'm thinking about scalding him with coffees or espresso rather.
Okay.
That was my idea.
Yeah. I thought you were just gonna like run him off the side of Jackie's car.
Oh, no, I thought to startle him while he had the gun. That's actually what I had in mind.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, roll
9.
and then let's see.
I'm still rolling fast with my conviction, but I've added my gist now with the crying. Because bounce from foster home. We could have bounced together, Schneider.
Yeah. And how about Polly? What do you get?
I'm not even sure what we're trying to accomplish right now.
Well, I guess
he's already outside.
Yeah, you're double teaming him. So I guess if you beat him by much, he's going to be scolded and will probably let go of his own volition, or at least misfire the pistol.
Yes, and I'll say, what you did, that betrayal, it's so uncool. As I toss the scalding coffee on him, or espresso, excuse me.
So, lukewarm, right? Yeah. a thimble full of lukewarm coffee, which is scathing in its own way, Okay. So he got a 6 on his 2 dice, which is, average.
I don't know what I should roll.
I think, throwing coffee in a dismissive way seems family to me.
Okay.
Unless you want it to be furious.
No. This is a cool thing. He's trying to be cool.
Yeah.
Or show he's cool. So, how many?
So it's 3.
All right. 13.
13. Okay. So, yeah, so Jackie, you leave go, and he's holding on to you for dear life, and he is trying to direct the pistol at you, but he's spending a lot of energy holding on, and then this doppio espresso hits him in the back of the head, and it's the shock of it more than the temperature or anything like that, and he loses his grip and then disappears, to be seen in the sequel maybe, because we don't really see the body. Everyone is driving so fast.
Yeah, that's because the Large Hadron Collider is warming up. We can't.
Yeah.
He's gonna be caught in the blast.
I just realized something. I know the sequel is going to be the post-credit scene. So
Okay.
I'll tell you what happened when we arrive to this point. We'll tell you.
Okay. So I think like you're able to concentrate on just going fast now. So I don't think there's any more rules. We've done an enormous amount of work in those 5 seconds, including a heartfelt conversation that took minutes and lots of subtext, right? So yeah, why don't you describe how you exit the collider, and then we'll have a quick wrap up scene, and then I'm waiting for the epilogue. So yeah, let's start with Jackie, and then Harley, and then Polly for your how do you exit the collider.
Oh, Jackie. Okay. Well, Jackie's gonna push a button, and the front of his Lamborghini is gonna open to reveal a grappling hook. And he's gonna say, "Hey Harley, mind if I grab a feel?" And he's gonna shoot his grappling hook, and which gonna latch onto the rear hand of his Harley's car, and he's gonna use that to gain more speed to catch the right exit. So
Can I say that like can I add to that? Like it
You can
latches
add-
on for like 5 seconds, but you see that like Harley has deliberately unscrewed the bumper a bit, so like you only get the 5 second benefit. Which a lot can happen in 5 seconds. Clearly, we demonstrated that. So you only get the short boost. It'll get you by, but then it'll just kind of detach, and I think it's gonna smash against your front bumper.
Don't worry, Harley. 5 seconds with my hook on your back, it's like a lifetime.
As we
Uh,
demonstrated, yeah,
Yeah.
5 seconds a lot can happen.
so Harley, you're well ahead, obviously, but giving a boost to your friends.
Yeah, that's how slipstream works, right? You get behind a fast thing, you get drift. I don't know how slipstream works. Yeah, I think I see the exit, and I think because I'm ahead, I'm doing as like what Polly said in a plan that feels like a million years ago now. Pointing the way. Like I said, we gotta be precise. Do as I do, and we'll get out of here fine. So like the exit is coming up. I don't know why you have exits in a large hadron collider, but sure. And I think just for like that, because it's warming up for a test, the exit is closing. So, but I think like because Hardy's like way ahead, she'll just like get through, and we'll send a text to the group WhatsApp. Exit's closing.
And Polly, finally.
Polly is going to play a different tune that'll try to get the drivers and his speakers to bounce on the magnetic field made by the collider, to try to use the collider's magnetic energy to add a boost of speed to get out there even faster.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I guess you escape from the collider, and then in the background you see it fizzle into life, and anything metal in your cars that's not pinned down is suddenly swinging in that direction because magnetism or something. And yeah, I think that the next kind of camera shot we see is some random road sign that says Italy, obviously, because that's what the road sign will say if that's where you're heading. Yeah, and then I think we cut. I guess we want to see a short epilogue, maybe talking about personal outcome, or maybe the outcome of the plot. Remember that, for for what your heist will achieve in this world, at least until the sequel. So let's go back around. Start with Jackie, maybe.
So you see, the shot of cities with the big name, so you know where you are. So it says Strasbourg, France, but bracket across the German border. And Jackie is at a cemetery, and he shows up at the grave of Herr Schneider, and he throws a bouquet of flowers with, and then pours him. He's got a bottle of beer, so he's got a sip, and then he empties it on the grave, and he says, "Goodbye, auf Wiedersehen, my friend," and that's it.
Okay, and Harley.
I think Harley is gonna wait for Jackie to leave the graveyard because she also has to pay respects to her brother, and she doesn't want to talk to Jackie. I think like when she is standing in front of like his grave, she doesn't really know what to say. It's not like they were friends, like Jackie were. Jackie and Schneider were actual brothers. They just share the same name, so she just kind of stands awkwardly there, and then realizes this is pointless. Digs into her phone and sends some messages to her friends. The one she sends to Polly is, "I know you let me get ahead at the Larger Hadron Collider. I don't know if I'm actually faster than you. Are you busy?"
And so this message shows up on Polly's phone, but Polly dismisses it because he's actually in the middle of a phone conversation to that gal he had a crush on, who's currently is now a reporter doing on the international desk. He's saying, I don't know if you remember me. I'm Polly Prescott. I understand you're a reporter now. I have some information on the royals that I think you'll find fascinating. Would you like to meet for coffee? Maybe an espresso, and I can give you the details.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, I think that's a wrap. But halfway through the credits, there's going to be a teaser scene for the sequel, right?
So
Colin?
yeah, you've got a group of German scientists, and they're in a somewhat dark laboratory, but something is kind of flashing on the in front of them, but you cannot see it. And one of the scientists say, "So, is that him?" "Yeah, that's him. That's him." And the other one says, "It goes beyond anything I imagine we could achieve with the Larger Hadron Collider. I know. Did he survive? Well," and the camera it's now behind them, and it pans above the shoulder of one of the scientists. "Well, he's now he's half man, half Lamborghini," and you see. And you cannot really see what it's like because you see a human form somewhat, but there's the lights of a Lamborghini, so it's kind of not backlit, but it's too bright, so you can really see what's become of Herr Schneider.
And all you can see is so bright, but as it like steps out of the portal, you can just see some liquid dripping down, and it smells like bananas.
Well, I mean, I did not expect to be hinting at a Fast and Furious Transformers crossover, but that seems like a perfect place to stop recording, at least, and then we will have a chat afterwards. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye. Auf Wiedersehen.